In this clip, Rose has already taken his stride, and he's in his launch position, ready to initiate the swing. And as we can see here, his hips are pretty square to the plate. Well, let's just draw a line right down to his hip sockets here. So as we can see, like I said, his hips are pretty square, pointing back toward the pitcher there. We can see also now that his shoulder is pointing over towards second base. So there we can see the separation. And it shows about 24 degrees. So in his launch position, we can see that the separation is already about 24 degrees, where his hips are leading his shoulders. Some would say that during the swing that the hips should rotate and the shoulders, though, should not. Well, that's just advancing forward. We'll see. Well, let's do away with those lines. We'll look and see now if actually the hips rotate but the shoulders do not. We can see the hips rotating, but it's also pretty obvious here, though, that we can also see that the shoulders are rotating. In fact, if we back him up here, if we notice now his hands and arms remain almost in a fixed relationship to the shoulders. If you look at that relationship and watch this as he rotates, the hands are not, he's not driving the backhand forward or anything of that nature, and the lead arm isn't bending or anything. And so we just see that the arms remain in a pretty well fixed position, and the bat head is being brought around now, and the hands by the rotation, and I think you can clearly see here that the shoulders are rotating. We'll bring him on over here now to the lag position, and we'll stop him there. Now, at this position here now, let's just redraw the lines, and we'll see how much the separation now is between the hips and shoulders. And the point I want to make here is we notice now the angles are almost identical. I think this points out that right from initiation, that both the hips and the torso muscles are engaging now to induce shoulder rotation. We don't just have the hips freewheeling and the shoulders resisting that rotation. We can clearly see that as the hips are rotating, so do the shoulders. Well, let's do away with these lines, and we'll just back him up here again. Now then, let's just cycle him forward again and let you take a look and see if you think, in other words, that the hips are fired and they rotate and then build up some kind of momentum and everything, and then later, after the hips are fairly well open, and generate their maximum velocity and so forth, then the batter then sequentially engages the torso muscles. And as I stated, I think we can clearly see here as we rotate through it that the torso muscles are being engaged to rotate shoulders. At the same time now the hips are being rotated around. And let's just take him all the way around here now to contact. And I think it's pretty clear that to see that the shoulders do rotate. And secondly, that they're rotating at the same time. Backing him up here again, some would say that shoulder rotation can occur at the same time that hip rotation. There's got to be a sequential there. But I think this clearly shows that both hips and shoulders do rotate at the same time. And the main contribution, like I said, from the hip rotation is to add to that shoulder rotation we see there. If he were just to rotate the hips and not the shoulders, then this bat wouldn't be brought around as we see here.